Hello and welcome to New Earth podcast. I'm wishing everybody a really wonderful, happy, prosperous new year for 2024. It feels very poignant to have Sabina and the Herd of Light on as the very first guests for 2024. It actually came about, I actually put out on my Facebook, I actually opened it right up for anyone that wanted to take part in the podcast. And I had quite a lot of inquiries, and I was just really deeply called to Sabina and the amazing work that she's doing with her herd. So welcome, Sabina.
Thank you for your warm-hearted sincerity. It feels just like a portal of warm welcome. And I'm so grateful to be here and to meet you and to be in this co-creative field with you.
I can really feel the co-creative field and the beautiful presence of one of your lovely horses. Would you like to introduce your horse
Yes,
that's wanting
yes,
to present here immediately?
yes, yes. This is Taz. Taz is short for Tasneem. Tasneem is a Sufi name, an Arabic name that came to us when we met Taz and tuned into her essence. And we didn't know what it meant, but it turns out it means rich and elevated.
Wow. Oh, and I
Yes,
understand that you'd like to kind of call in the field and call in your horses to really open up this space to start with.
thank you. Yes, I would love to do that. And first, for us all just to take a breath of welcoming ourselves fully into this moment and just feeling our interbreathing here as points of light all around the globe and beyond. Horses often stand in sacred geometric patterns. And so I see us all as a sacred geometric mandala as we meet in this moment of right here and now. And Taz is licking and chewing. And when horses move their mouths kind of out of nowhere, that's an energetic type of release. So they are releasing the jaw, sometimes for any tension that might have arisen in the space, which could very well be. For I feel my heartbeat, as a co-creator here, or for themselves as well, which actually is all one field here. So yes, we call in and feel the call of all of nature right now as an interbreathing part of ourself in our wholeness. And Khalil comes over to breathe a breath, to lick a welcoming lick. And we call in the whole herd of light, who are 5 luminous horse beings and one unseen horse being who has dissolved his form. He is our herd pole star, and his name is Omar, and he is always guiding. We call in Taz, Khalil, Travis, Yoshi, Teddy. And we call in the land and the soil underneath our feet as we begin to breathe through the portals of the soles of our feet. And we call in Mother Gaia herself, feeling a cradling of her field of unconditional wisdom and love. We call in all of nature, your most intimate animal beloveds, your most intimate tree friends, the plants and the flowers and the unseen realms of the nature spirit. The oceans and oceanic beings, the winged ones, the skywalkers. Feel yourself as an interbreathing part of this wholeness with the sun and the moon and space itself, the stars, and all the beings of light on this planet and beyond. That was a breath from Khalil of the deepest, nourishing contentment and settling in. As we settle into ourselves intimately now and open into this field, which is one body. It's one body of now.
Yes. I can really feel that settling in, Sabina, as you've called in that connection with all that is.
Me too. Me too.
I know that you wanted to call this podcast Animal and Nature Assisted Awakening. And I can really feel the field that you hold, the space that you hold for that awakening. It's very inclusive and it's really touching. It's a very moving, very, very moving space that you hold.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for those words. Inclusive. Thank you. Because this is unitively inclusive field. And it's an embodied feeling and a felt sense. And if it's not, then we must dive deeper. Because it must be felt. So thank you so for feeling so deeply.
You spoke of interbreathing. How do you feel that?
Yeah. So the interbreathing is such a beautiful focus for our mind, because it expands our sense of self instantaneously. And Yoshi is coming forward now to breathe here. Yoshi has taught me this because, well, one of the ways that horses communicate is through the breath. They have, as you can see, very big features, including nostrils. So their nostrils are like portals. And they have taught me about the simplicity of meeting the air right at the tip where it enters the portal of the nostril. Right there. That specific one pointed for our mind is so helpful. And the way they communicate with each other is to intimately go nostril to nostril and breathe, which is my most favorite thing to do with them. And in all of the spiritual traditions and practices, the breath obviously is a key. What the herd does is they begin to harmonize their breath with one another to create a field of coherence. So when we tune in to our breath as an interbreathing with the whole, we can feel our true self as we start to expand. And we start to feel a natural state of porousness. And the herd and all of nature has pointed to this porousness in all of their transmissions. I mean, that's how the wisdom from nature flows through, is through porousness, which is humility. That's true humility. It's becoming porous to light and expanding the sense of self. And that is what interbreathing feels like.
The words that are coming, the words that are coming to me as you speak is the breath of God.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's not a place that I'm familiar with breathing from, my nostrils. It's not where I usually place my awareness. So I'm just exploring this at the moment.
Yes, exactly.
And initially, when I started to explore that, I was much more drawn to the in-breath, but now it's kind of, it's becoming much more whole. You know, it felt much more that receiving that was the initial kind of awareness.
Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing your direct experience, Sarah. I'm feeling that with you right now. And where the two meet, where one turns into the next, that horizon, if you will, that horizon where you can't tell where one ends and another begins. That's the breath of God. That's truly what it feels like. A breath of a unitive self.
So do you feel that the horses are showing the way with their breathing to connect into that sense of oneness, that sense of connection to all that is?
Yes,
because their breathing is so kind of accentuated.
It is. Exactly so. Exactly so. Yes. by sitting with the herd. It was most unexpected to me when horses arrived, because I had simply dedicated my life to esoteric studies and meditation and discovering myself. I guess the closest word that I would use to point to my nature is a mystical being. And so I was exploring and diving into practices, and the breath was always one that was weaving threads of light, and I could feel that. But it wasn't really until I began to sit with these 1,000-pound beings, with their accentuated breath, and yet subtle breath too. And sometimes their breath is imperceptible, really. And begin to breathe light with them, that I really feel that the breath became an embodied conduit. Yeah, and I needed that. Yeah.
And that this is so powerful, because this is the journey into New Earth. It is that embodied process. And also, I feel it's just so incredible that you're the first podcast of the year, because my sense is that in 2024, we're going to really start to realize the importance of nature and the nature kingdom, the animals, especially, you know, pets, because that's our closest point of connection with the animal kingdom, that they're masters and that they're here to really assist us and guide us with the transition that we're going through as the collective.
Yes. Wow. Yes, I think that is so spot on. I feel like that is awakening exponentially in human consciousness. And to experience ourselves as not separate from nature, because we are nature. So this is about allowing the breath to meet any artificiality that has been constructed, to meet it with the breath, which is a breath of unity, because each breath has light, an unseen light in it. And the intention of light is unitive. That is something that nature has transmitted so clearly. The nature of the intention of light is unitive. So to feel less separate from these masters, disguised as our most intimate cat friends and dog friends, to feel less separate by meeting everything that arises from this place of unity. Yeah, allowing it to flow back into flow again.
And do you and the herd have any guidance for listeners who may be really wanting to connect with the animals on a deeper level, their pets, perhaps pets that have passed over even, because there's been an observation that a lot of pets have been leaving this year. My Facebook feed has been filled with people's pets. So it feels very poignant that you're here at this turning of the year point to give some guidance as to how people can connect more deeply with their animal friends.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, the only way is to connect with our own heart more deeply. That is the only way to become so intimate with our own heart. So to enter into the heart field, because that is another gift from all of nature, is this frequency, this electromagnetic frequency of the shared one heart. The shared one heart that we access so directly from that love that we feel for our animal beloveds. The love is that portal directly into our heart. And actually, I'd love to lead a meditation on this.
Yeah,
This
that would be
aspect.
beautiful. I'd like to share, if that's okay, before you do that.
Yes, can be anytime.
Yeah, because I came along to one of Sabina's beautiful animal assisted awakening Zoom sessions a couple of weeks ago. And it was a really, really powerful experience for me. And the area that was most activated was my heart. And I felt a lot of grief there.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if it was my own grief, if I'm honest, because there was a lot of grief in the field that week. And I'm not sure
Yes.
if I was picking up on on other people's grief.
Yes.
Because I'm not feeling it this time. I'm not feeling that grief. But I suspect some of it was mine, because we're all so interconnected in the fact that I came along that particular week. You know, I want to take ownership of some of that. But it was really strong. It was really you know, it was an amazing healing field for that grief. And grief can get quite buried. And so to have that gift to be able to access some of that was very powerful.
Well, I want to thank you so much for the excavation within, the uncovering within of any levels and layers of our shared grief that were touched upon by you. The freeing of that by seeing and feeling that, allowing it to rise up in a field of love. Wow, what a gift you have given. And you're right. Yes, it's impossible to say that it is my grief or your grief. It is really
Yes.
one shared. It is one shared grief. We may have personal aspects of the manifestation and expression, but it is shared. It is one shared grief. And the amazing part of liberating that grief by being courageous enough to softly say, I see you. To softly say, I see you, and to allow it to be inclusively here. Wow.
I'd love to do another I see you, if that's okay.
Yes.
Because I actually I've had a tummy upset. We're filming this late in the day, and I've had a tummy upset today. And you know, I'm not usually someone that gets these kind of things. And I actually had to have a little sleep in the afternoon. And I was really tuning in, you know, with the self-honoring piece of, should we reschedule? And I actually went to sleep, and I woke up and I felt, no, it's still there a little bit, this tummy feeling, but it's like, no, you know, we need to do the podcast. Let's do it today. And it's interesting because I mentioned that my heart was presenting the first time. I'm not feeling any of that today, although of course I feel a heart connection. What I'm feeling is my tummy, and there's no coincidences. So maybe there's something. We're recording this early, and who knows where we'll be by the new year. So maybe there's something about that needs to come into the field today.
Yes, I'm so glad that you are bringing this in of your present moment waves in your second chakra and third chakra. These subtle centers of light that are swirling on the surface and integrating and processing. I can feel it too. So this is an incredible teaching from Yoshi and Khalil. So one time, Khalil was transmitting a state of mind directly to me. And it is a state of blue sky mind. And I started to hold on to it very, very focusedly. And I felt a little glimmer of this elation in the state of what he was showing me as natural mind. And there was real focus. It was a real masculine flow of laser beam focus there. And you might be asking how this relates, but you'll see. And there was this incredible initiation that the herd offered me. And I don't speak about it much, but I do feel called to speak about it with you. They were in a formation, and Khalil left my side after this transmission, and he completed the formation. It was in the shape of a diamond. There were 4 at the time. And Khalil stepped aside and opened a gate where I felt invited to come through. So I sat down, and I sat on the ground in the center. But I felt tension in my concentration. I felt a tightness. And all of a sudden, Yoshi's belly, and this is very interesting because Yoshi, who's standing here now, her most favorite position for us to sit together is what I'm going to do now. Is under her belly. It's so sacred to be here right now. And Yoshi showed me, she illuminated her belly. I did not sit under her belly in that moment, but she illuminated her belly and she showed me. See, she bends her leg, which shows total relaxation. She's cocking her leg. Total, just relax. She showed me energetically the field of the Divine Mother of openness. Showed me the intersection of openness with that acute male energetic flow of focus. And how the intersection of the two was our true nature, was the basically the illumination of that blue sky mind. So what that is really showing is the gut brain also
Yes.
is involved here. The heart, the mind, the three brains, all becoming coherent and becoming harmonized with that balancing of that unity between the male and the female flow of energy. Now in our gut, in our stomach, tied in knots or queasy, you can feel a bit of tumultuous kind of nature just in the activities going. And at the same time, can we feel the opposite? Can we feel that place underneath those waves simultaneously that is still pointed? It's like a portal, an umbilical cord from that still pointed place of breath with the whole universe, accessed in the belly, in the gut brain as its natural field. So that is what comes forth in this moment for us to experience together. Mutually inclusive of the tumult, of the waves, of the knots. I see you. And feeling the umbilical cord out from that still point with the whole universe. And again, these are felt experiences because, well, that's nature, right? That is including the human animal experience, the human animal felt sense into what we are discovering to bring an embodied illumination.
Thank you so much. That's very powerful. And it makes sense to my head brain as well, because I work with a Chinese medicine-based therapy. And the earth element, the connection with the gut and the mind, the clarity and focus and anxiety, for example. So and also that connection with Mother Earth, the earth element. So it all made sense on a mind level to me as well, though I know you brought it through in a transmission and from a completely different place. Yes.
I didn't know if on a mind level, then I go back and try to see, does that make sense on a mind level? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's incredibly powerful. So
yeah.
Are you feeling does it still feel appropriate, the meditation, or have we gone off on a tangent now?
No, not at all. I would love to offer this meditation. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to begin. I'd love to be able to allow you for a moment to look into Yoshi's. If she will share her gaze She wants to share something else right now. She wants to share her tail. Oh, so let's ground before we begin. Thank you, Yoshi. Let's feel not only our root center at the most primal level of the base of the spine, interBreathing with Mother Earth, but let's dive deep. Let's dive into our flow of our quantum field. With the camera on Yoshi. And feel actually how Mother Earth grounds as she whirls through space, this body of Gaia. Feel how Mother Earth grounds through the Earth Star. And allow yourself to ground so deeply that you meet the illustrious radiance of the Earth Star and drink from this field of nourishment through your quantum tail, also known as the ninth chakra. And then we'll begin the Supernova heart meditation that was transmitted by Teddy. Allow your heart to grow outside of your body. Breathe it in and feel it enlarge. As you breathe in, it swells and expands beyond your personal sphere. Then breathe into it even more. Breathe into this heart, exhaling, and let it burst. Let it burst open, open, open. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out, opening, bursting. All the grief, all the love, all the pain, all the peace. Do not try to contain it all within your limited form. Allow your heart to grow outside of your body, circulating with the wind. Being fed by the sun. Dancing, intertwining with the moon and the galaxies. So feel this expanded heart, breathing interbreathing with the whole. Breathe from this bursted open supernova heart, whose nature is none other than the nature of the universe. Compassion. Breathe from this bursted open supernova heart, whose nature is none other than the nature of the universe. Compassion. Now, draw in that supernova heart field deeper. Within each breath into the innermost caverns of yourself. Let your heart, which has been nourished now and communed with the wind and the sun and the galaxies, let it completely melt inside of you. Feel it melting through each cold, dark place, like molten lava, liquid love. And let this luminous, active, glowing, liquid love penetrate and engulf the deepest wounds. Let it fill, let it overflow the punctures, the scars, the old beliefs, the imprinted, hidden shamings, the over vigilant responsibilities you carry on your back. Let it melt all around and within you. And then simply become this melting. So as the sun comes out now, all of nature has joined us for this alchemy within. And I can feel all of nature singing a song of light, a certain frequency of rejoicing, a reciprocal, unitive flow of gratitude to you all.
You so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for diving in with the herd and I.
It's been an
Thank
absolutely
you.
wonderful co-creative experience that I will always remember.
It was such a blessing to be with you, and we'll be inspired by all of your work and offerings in the world, and our inspiration feels kindled more deeply because of you.
Oh, bless you. It's just felt such a loving and nurturing space to be held in. I'm very, very grateful.
I am too. I am too. So
So do
blessings
you have any
now.
last,
Mhm.
and is there anything last thoughts coming through? Any last transmission from the herd? And also, how can people get in contact with you and your wonderful work? I will be putting in your links in the description to this video.
Okay. Okay. Um, so let's see. To get in contact with me would be on Facebook. Sabina Nanda is one word. And our weekly gatherings take place every Sunday via Zoom, where we open up to new transmissions. So you can find that all on Facebook or on the website oneherd.oneheart.com. A final transmission is to enter into the portal of now. We must drop all of our stories about who we think we are. The portal of right here and now is one body, and it is also the eye of a needle. And to cross it, we must be naked. Yes, naked mind, naked heart, naked belly, naked being, natural. So that is what wanted to come through, and blessings now and for every new now.
Thank you so much, Sabina, and so much gratitude and blessings to the herd of light as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. I always close with muzzle to the earth. Muzzle to the earth, gratitude and reverence, and so much love.
So much love.
Okay.
And thank you, everyone, for listening. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode of New Earth Podcast. Please do subscribe so you can receive some more wonderful connections with the guests. Many blessings to you all. Thank you.